Hello everyone and welcome back to another Wizard101 video. Today, Lemuria is out and you know what that means. It's time to go over the patch notes. I've done this the last few worlds whenever they come out, and yeah, people seem to like to know exactly what's coming out. So today I'm going to go over that, tell you exactly what's in the patch notes, what I think about some of it, if it's a change that's irrelevant to Lemuria. But before we get into this, make sure to hit the sub button. As I said, I want to hit 4,000 by the end of the year. We're very close. We're like 60 off right now. If every one of you who watched this video just hit the sub button, we would reach it literally instantly. Like, snap of your fingers, boom, we hit it. So make sure to do that. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So yesterday, Lemuria has officially been released. You can see here it's been released. Lemuria's out. So if you want to play Lemuria, go for it, Chief. But you're here for the patch notes, so let's read them and go over them. So, Fall 2020, Live Realms. Discover the stolen lands of Lemuria. We're opening the sealed door to an exciting new world that is at once familiar and strange and completely bonkers. What will you find there? It's a mystery. Let us know, as we are just as curious. Along with the new world and all exciting content it has to offer, we've made several improvements to existing systems, starting with the quest journal. It's been completely revamped, allowing for the filtering of quests. With mainline and side quests to complete, it's now easier than ever to focus on those most important in your questing goals. A cluttered quest journal is no longer an issue. Also in the update are new features to adventure parties, continued balance changes to PvP gameplay, exciting new Beast Moon rewards, and of course a selection of new Beast Moon forms to challenge your play and scare the enemy team right off the combat sigils. Are you a fan of castle magic and making your castle the bling bling of the spiral? Seek out Babbage Bassett for a bunch of new decoration options. Thank you, Wizards. So that's kind of an overview of it, but obviously we're going to read more in depth with the highlights here, so let's get into it. The new world of Lemuria. A mysterious entity has appeared in the wizard in the guise of the old one, confused and lost and knows only one thing for certain. It must find the world of Lemuria. There's only a problem. There is no such world. Or is there? The answer lies in the most forbidden chamber in the Arcanum. Investigate the lost fragments of the history to uncover a forgotten crime so monumental it shook the spiral. In the process, you'll discover a world of worlds, a mishmash of the strange and familiar, overseen by the enigmatic, cute but cautious lemurs. In this place, bears never learned to fight, manders never learned to serve, and water moles, well, they actually learned a lot. In the realm of Lemuria, heroes are forged, barbarians triumph in the untamed badlands, while polymaths excel in the floating sky city. Monster hunters are needed to protect the people of the gloomy night forest, while the wildlands are protected by a mysterious violet ghost. But there's a greater danger that they can know, hidden for centuries. Amidst the jungles and deserts and cities of Lemuria is one last great secret that, if left undiscovered, could unravel everything. Team up with the heroes of Lemuria to put things right. So, I just wanted to read that intro, by the way. I'm not going to fully read everything in this patch notes, otherwise this video would literally be 30 minutes long. But I just wanted to read that intro because I thought it was cool. So, Lemuria is out. Now, I would like to say, I've played a little bit of it on the test realm, and so far it's a really, really good world. It's really cool, really fun, and a lot of people, you know, it's funny because I'm not going to say I told you so, but I definitely completely told you so, right? Where a few weeks ago, I released a video of the Lemuria controversy and what I think about it. A lot of people were saying Lemuria is going to be bad. It's just reusing textures and stuff. And I said, that's stupid. That's not what it's going to be. And would you look at that? That's not what it is. So, wow, oh my god. It's almost like, you know, you shouldn't base everything off of a minute-long trailer that doesn't accurately show the world. Surprise. Wow. So, with some new things, here we have the level cap being raised to 150. That was to be expected. There's some new Lemuria gear as well at the end of the world for level 150. It's pretty good. If you want a full rundown of that, I have a video on that uploaded a few weeks ago. On top of that, there's the new old one spells. I've also released a video reviewing what I think about those, so if you want to go check that, go for it. But there are some pretty cool spells, I will say. Quest journal improvements. This section is pretty cool. Basically, they've created a new UI that they thought would be better for adventuring. So I'm actually just going to show that off in game right here with my death. You can see the quest log has the ability, you can see some quests have an activity listed at the top. So like this one has a crafting activity because this is a crafting quest. You have the main quest right here where I have Caramel and Wisteria, but you can see here I've actually already hidden some quests. I have some quests here that I never did. What these are is these are just random side quests, and I can choose to hide the side quest and what that will do is prevent it from showing up in my quest log. It's a pretty cool new feature, and it just removes clutter from quest logs. Like, I know this will probably be pretty useful for my other death, who I created as a child and accepted like every side quest in the spiral in his quest log and never did it. Definitely is going to be a pretty useful feature, a pretty cool feature, and I'm excited for it. More adventurous adventure parties. We've made some significant improvements to adventure parties. Have you joined one yet? Here's a few tips from Artie, our lead designer of the feature, on how you can use it. So basically, things added: you can now chat with other online players in an adventure party. If someone in an adventure party is being unfriendly, the owner can now remove them. If an adventure party name has worn out its welcome, an adventure party owner can change it. The owner can now designate another player as the owner if they want to. If the owner wishes to leave, they must designate another owner first and then leave. Your character can be less than level 30, and you can still join an adventure party if any other character on your account is at least level 30. And hidden from friends now works on adventure parties too. So just some quality of life changes, pretty cool. Overall works. And this is one, if you're in an adventure party, you can easily create a group with online players. Just click the create a group button on the adventure party details page. Groups that were formed from an adventure party are special and get a star. Also, a huge thing here, and this is going to become big. Adventure parties are going to be huge. You can set a sigil slot preference. What this means is you can set it so in the adventure party, a specific order is loaded as they go into battle. This is great because if they do this, we'll suddenly not have the problem in certain fights where it's like, okay, this person goes first, the hitter has to go last. We can literally set it up beforehand and then go and not have to worry about it. That's super nice and super useful, especially for fights that like drag you in a random order. Like, I've had this for a few fights where they drag you in like a completely random and illogical order. So it would be nice, you know, you can always have your hitter slot 4, and you can always have like whoever should be slot 1, so probably a healer or like someone who's removing blades or shields, they should be slot 1. It's just pretty cool, and a pretty cool addition, I'd say. For PvP updates, we have 2 new UI features. First is show/hide PvP rank. So I'm assuming if you're getting like bullied because you play PvP, you can now hide your PvP rank and pretend, you know, that you don't actually play PvP. So that's pretty cool. You can also inspect an opponent after the match to see their stats, gear, and so on. With this update, they're also replacing the 30-minute timer with the Diego decision by Diego conclusion to a chess style timer. So basically what this is, if you've never seen chess, every time someone makes a move, they press a button and then it goes to the enemy, and it goes back and forth like that. And you both have 5 minutes, and it stops counting down the second you send it to your enemy, but it starts whenever you're making your move. So there's a 5-minute timer. Usually that's the average chess timer, but it looks here like they're doing a 10-minute timer. Basically, you just shift back and forth. It's urging you to start making strategic moves within a shorter period of time. Say you make all of your moves in 5 seconds, like, which is really fast for PvP, and then your enemy makes all their moves, like they run down the timer all the way to 5 seconds, right? So it takes them 25 seconds. They could very easily lose that match just by a timer, you know, a timer running out, because they took way too long. So I think that this is actually a pretty cool decision, I will say. I think it's overall solid and will be good for PvP, at least from an outsider perspective. I don't know about PvP, but I think the chess timer works well in chess, so I don't see why it wouldn't work well in PvP. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? I'm no master. No PvP enchant. We've added setting for spells, a no PvP enchant, which will enable for specific spells. Basically, this just makes it so that certain spells they can tag to be a no PvP enchant. Really easy, really simple to understand. It just kind of makes it so that certain spells that shouldn't have an enchant won't have an enchant. They also have this so that they can do it as a setting for a PvE enchant as well. They haven't done it yet, but they might in the future. They would have to make a really, really good spell for people to use it with a no enchant thing, I would like to say. It would have to have a really good side effect and be no enchant PvE for me to use it over something that can be enchanted, is what I'm saying. So they really got to think on this here. I don't know what they're going to do yet, but we'll see. Now they have the new Rochambeau spells. I've kind of already gone over this in the past, and I'm sure a lot of people have already gone over this in the past. This is just a new cool addition. New PvP only master amulets are available from purchase from Brand and Mistburn. I have seen that. They look pretty cool. They look pretty sick. I don't really know. I'm no PvP person, but They look really good. Now we have new beast forms. We have a balanced rat thief, ice minotaur, life elf. I almost just said MILF. I meant myth wolf warrior. Jesus. And then a storm colossus. So there's some new cool beast moon forms if you want, and there's new event rewards you can see here throughout the year. Some pretty cool things, and then some new spell elements. You can see December's elemental spell elements, January spiritual, and then they flip back and forth from that. This new feature is actually really cool, and I do really like this, is the new pack preview feature. With some of the newer Horde and Lore packs, you can now use the inspect button in the crown shop to see a list of items you have a chance of getting in that pack. These items are always shown at the highest level those items can be in that pack. Here's a couple of examples. Here you can see that there's Pigsy, you can see a example of the motorist gear. Pretty darn cool. I do really like this feature. I think it's pretty cool, and it will allow people to see the stats of certain things before actually buying them. So if you can see if it's worth it or not to get. Pretty cool. I do like it. Castle magic improvements, I read over these earlier. For 90% of people who don't do castle magic, and by 90% I mean 99.9% of people who don't do castle magic, this is kind of pointless. But basically, there's just some new cool features, including like upping the speed on certain items. There's new menu chat features such as I can't move and I don't know what to do. You know, I was gonna say I can do it right here and then use one, but I actually have no idea where the castle magic section is at all, to be completely honest. Like, I could not tell you in the slightest. You know what? I'm just gonna pretend that I never said that and move on with my life. Next section is bug fixes and other changes. These aren't like huge things. These are just kind of things in that were added, not initially in the test realm, but after a while. The Rochambeau spells have been added. Pretty cool. The 2-pip global spells now been restricted to max 4 copies in the main deck. All right. Dog Tracy spell, which I think was one of the minion kind of type ones in Lemuria, now does damage and applies a heal over time. Freeze Ray spell elements now has correct shadow pip cost, and his name has also been corrected. Mana burn has been set to no enchant both PvP and PvE. Threshold Fever is now available for training via Dworgen. All non-standard E-free items / pet cards are now set to no PvP. Interesting. Okay, so this is just correcting the idea that we don't want any -90 E-freets in PvP. Interesting. All right, I see what they're doing here. Jin's defense is now set to the correct pip cost at 3. Tribunal Oni now deals the correct amount of damage. Writing the scales now removes the correct hanging effects. Fixing a bug on Shatter Pet card to remove only the beneficial wards. Several spell cards which had blank descriptions now have them filled. In regard to combat, Lemuria henchmen are now available to hire. Sigil and Arcana will now load more than one player. Sigil no longer requires a skeleton key. Pretty cool. Some people have been adjusted. A line in the final boss has been adjusted. Various mob spawn adjustments. Some castle magic stuff. Players hidden from friends will no longer show online in adventure parties. Catch of the day and tournament fish no longer include the holiday fish. Various animation and UI adjustments, and finally various performance and stability fixes. So just overall bug fixes and stability fixes, but that is the patch notes here. So the important things to really note from this update, in my opinion, are definitely Lemuria, obviously. The quest journal improvements are pretty sick. This one is huge and is probably going to be underrated. The adventure party sigil slot preference, that's pretty cool, and that's going to be really useful for some people. So I do really like that change. The PvP thing seems cool. We'll have to see how it works. The chest timer seems interesting in my opinion. I don't know what, actually people who do PvP will think, but I think it's pretty cool. Everything else is just kind of meh. Pack preview is pretty cool as well, but the rest of it's just kind of meh. So that's this update. Let me know what you think about it. Do you like it so far? Do you dislike it? I think Lemuria is a great world, and I'm going to enjoy doing it. I'm excited to do that in the future. Let me know what you think. Do you like Lemuria? Have you finished Lemuria? Is it a good world in your opinion? I think it's a really good world so far, and I really like it. So overall, A+ from me. Other changes, pretty sick as well. But that's it for today. Make sure to drop a like, hit the sub button, go support me financially on Patreon, and thank you to my financial supporter, NJA, for supporting me financially on Patreon. I really do appreciate it. You mean more to me than you could know. Go join my Discord server. We have a good time there. We're having a movie night this Saturday. Really fun. We're up to like 360 members. Kind of exploded in the last few weeks. Pretty darn cool. But that's it. Thank y'all for watching. See you in the next video. Adios.